All right, so I got my RC Resurrected Classics door and hatch in today. We're going to talk about every panel from them, starting from the hatch, door, and then we'll also talk about these fenders too. From what I can tell, it seems like there may be an updated version of the Fender. I'm just guessing, but if there is, maybe some of the issues that I came across are fixed. So before I start, I do want to say that I'm extremely impressed by these doors. We'll go over why exactly, but well worth the money by far. All right, so let's talk about the hatch. And we are going to talk about the alignment first. So I got a big gap there, and I have a small gap here. And on the top here, it sticks over the roof line about a finger thickness. And the problem that I have with that is my hinges are maxed out completely down and all the way to the left. It cannot go anymore. I actually ground material out where those hinges go inside to allow for more adjustment, and I cannot get the adjustment that I need. This was actually aligned already because I was going to use my old hatch, and it lined up great. So when I put this on, I was expecting it to be at least pretty close, and it wasn't. So after more adjustment, this is what I'm left with. And I have this really big gap here. So what needs to happen is the static brackets that are welded right there and right there that bolt up to the adjustable hinge are welded in the wrong spots. And I think the original bracket, the angle from the left and right side on the OEM hatch was a 1 degree difference. There's like a 5 degree difference between the two brackets on this hatch. So they're welded in the wrong spots. The angles are the wrong angle. And yeah, not too impressed with that. And then inside here, there is a bunch of rust. I can't tell if it's more than surface rust because I'm using just like a scope 1080p camera to get inside here. And there's definitely rust down this entire pillar and down this entire pillar. More rust than my original 50-plus-year-old hatch. So for this being a brand new panel that I paid, I think, good money for, I'm not impressed with this being completely unprotected, and it's already rusting out more than what my original hatch was. And then inside here, there's actually rust down pretty much this entire piece too. It's unprotected, or if there was like paint protection there, it looks like it's starting to lift off, and I'll show you that video too. As you can see, pretty much all the way down. It's pretty rusty. Then we got a little bit of shipping damage. So this entire edge here is just kind of dented in. It looks like it hit something. So this is going to get sent back. We're actually going to try for a better quality one, and hopefully one that doesn't have shipping damages. There's a couple dents too. There's like 2 right there, and down this entire side there's a few. All right, let's talk about the doors now. So like I said, I'm pretty impressed with these doors. I really haven't found anything wrong with them. I first checked the measurements between the 2 skins, this gap here, and then in several places down, and they're like dead nuts perfect. The measurement was like exactly the same in every single spot that I checked, except I feel like a little bit right here, I think it was off. It was a little bit closer, but not by much though. I mean, it was for everything else to line up, really, really impressed with that. But I read online, the one review that I could find, or one guy complaining, he said that these countersunk holes were in the wrong spots. I think one of them was like way off. And the problem with that, with this being countersunk, is you can't just like open the hole and move it. It would have to get cut and like re-welded or just welded up, hammered flat, and then re-countersunk. I mean, it's a lot of work. It's not as simple as just opening up the hole, unless you use like a different bolt maybe. But I'm not really sure if that would interfere with anything. It might while this is closing, if you use a bolt that like sticks out. I imagine they use countersunk bolts for a reason. But I got lucky with mine at least, or I think I got lucky. Or they fixed it, I'm not entirely sure. But mine lined up on both doors, so no issues there. I think it was off just like a little bit, but it was enough to where I could get the bolt in and not really worry about it. And you could see where it's like touching the edge there. And then on the inside, it looks like they added a thicker brace. I'm assuming this is off of a 280Z style brace. And the 240 is a lot thinner than this. This door actually weighs 7 pounds more than the stock 240Z door. Just shell and shell, like no internals at all. It was 7 pounds more. So I'm assuming it's probably because of that brace. And it's a pretty thick, heavy-duty brace compared to what the OEM one was for a 240Z. So inside here, it looks very good. I did not see any corrosion or rust. It looks like it's coated very well. So super happy with that. The body lines are great. You could definitely tell this is a newer mold. They are very straight, no dents or anything. It came out very clean. The crease lines look good all the way around the door. As you could tell, this is KF vintage quarter panel. You can see how it dips down right there, it like flattens out. That body line just kind of disappears a little bit. And it looks like maybe their mold is super worn out. So compared to that, to this, very impressed. It looks great. It's a nice straight body line. And then everything else seemed to line up with the door hinges, everything bolted up just the way it's supposed to. I have not put like the door handle or the latches or anything else in. I have done the door latch assembly. That looks good. So as far as I can tell though, from what I have worked on, everything is great. I have absolutely no complaints on these doors at all. All right, let's talk about the fenders. I have them on both sides, and this is also from RC. I did have a little bit of issues with these fenders. I had to work the rear, the inner structure had to get kind of beat in a little bit, just kind of massaged to be able to get it to go up against the, I'm not sure, pillar there, to be able to get it to bolt up in every location. The problem that I had was it just would not wrap around to the rocker, and that may be my issue on this car specifically. I replaced these rockers. It was matched up to the old Fender, and maybe these are just a little bit different. I can't imagine they're 100% one-to-one, but it looks like it needs to be just a little bit longer to completely wrap up against the rocker without putting too much tension on it. So the rear had to get worked a little bit. This body line right here, both sides seem to be smashed in. I think I pulled that side out a little bit, but you can see it's been scraping right here, and that's eventually going to get fixed too. And it's an aftermarket panel, and I hate that as an excuse. I feel like it's just an excuse for poor quality. And it's like, oh, it's just an aftermarket panel. It's just what you deal with. Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, it sucks, but what else? What else are you going to do? It was pretty wavy. I don't think this side was as bad as the passenger side. Most of the issue was up front here. And also this body line right there. I had to cut that all up and re-straighten it. I'll show you the inside. Yeah, so that's all been cut up and basically straightened, so it's not as wavy as it was. Some of this had to get hammered into, and I believe I cut out, yeah, I cut out a little bit right there to be able to get this to go in. And I'll show you the waves on the other panel. Yeah, so this one was really bad. It's still a little bit wavy. It still needs to get worked on, but it is significantly better than what it was. and you can see even back there, it's just kind of a little wavy. From what I could tell, though, from the pictures I've seen, they have a newer style fender, or at least I'm assuming it's a newer style with that type of coating, and I do not see the waves on it. I've actually talked to somebody, and maybe they have a different mold now, but it's significantly better from what I could tell. So just to sum it up, I wish the hatch could be a little bit better quality as far as the brackets being in the wrong spot and rust and whatever. The doors I'm extremely impressed with. I really don't have anything bad to say about them, which is great. With aftermarket parts, if you can get a win like that, by all means. I would almost spend more money on these doors if they came in this condition every time. The fenders, I wish could be a little bit better, but doable. Everything lines up as far as like the mounting points. Other than here, I mean, I'm not exactly sure what's going on. That might have been my fault with the rockers. The old fender bolted up, so I'm not entirely sure on that. Eventually, I'll get to that point. I'll probably spend the next couple weeks lining up every single gap on this car. Drive myself crazy doing that. But overall, though, I mean, it's nice to be able to get a panel like this that doesn't have any rust compared to my old fender that I took off that was completely rusty. So I'm gonna leave it there. Let me know what you guys think.